The highly anticipated fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis has just taken place, and the reactions are flooding in from across the MMA world.
What are you feeling right now, my friend?
Like normal fights. I like to be in the cage more than outside, so it was fun. Last minute, get some punches. Be happy.
There is a new UFC middleweight champion. His name, Khamzat Chimaev. One of the most dominant performances that we've ever seen in a UFC title fight ever. He beats Dricus du Plessis.
I'm not making it up! I'm not making it up! I'm not making this shit up! They avoid combat at all costs! You are a human! Get out of this combat sport! Ah! Chimaev landed a shot that looked like it could have hurt! Chimaev landed a punch that maybe could have caused damage to his opponent. Ah! He did it again! That actually might have hurt Dricus! There might be a chance that Dricus winced at that shot. What are we doing, dude? We can't put this on Paramount. We can't put this on Paramount. Cancel the deal.
Dricus gets on top. Dricus is in mount. Dricus is in mount. Oh my God. No. Dricus has to choke. No. Dude, Dricus, do something, brother. You got 10 seconds left. So Dricus tends to use explosive leg, heels to the floor, sit up, torso kind of get-ups. These require a lot of energy and they create a lot of motion, and it's a big problem. But if I'm Dricus, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, all right. So Khamzat Chimaev is your new champion. Bro, I have so much to say on the post-fight show. I have so much to say about that performance. I have so much to say about that.
Big kick from Dricus. Chimaev shoots in and gets it. Ah, it's over, chat. He got the body lock again. He avoided combat again. Back to his position against the cage, holding another man up against the cage and knee in the thigh. Oh no, dude. What's Chimaev? Dude, 5 seconds left. Anything could happen. Ah! No, nothing happened because it's a f***ing Chimaev fight.
That dominance was insane by Khamzat. The boogeyman becomes the champion.
Yeah.
50-44 on all three judges' scorecards. It goes the distance. And the best way to describe this fight, in my opinion, was domination. Absolute, total domination. Just listen very quickly to some of these numbers here. Khamzat Chimaev landed 510 strikes, according to ESPN's Fight Center. 510 strikes in this 5-round fight.
Deze dag naar ons wakker, ja maar ja, dat doen ik goed doen mij de radio. En gale afstel als je zit daar is gale als nee, daar gaan we chip doen. Dat is Até o de longa canção que é. I think that alone, hopeless, maybe else. Yeah, well.
I get like 2 more and then.
Right, she had a good deal to a lot of things. Papi, mami, got to go my deal.
Before the fight, Alexander Volkanovski shared his take on the matchup. Volkanovski, who is himself a versatile fighter with a high-paced style, pointed out that Chimaev's tendency to rely heavily on his wrestling could be problematic, especially if he was unable to land his takedowns early on. According to Volkanovski, Chimaev's wrestling-heavy approach could leave him vulnerable over the course of 5 rounds, with his energy reserves at risk of depleting if the takedowns weren't as effective as expected. Volkanovski suggested that by focusing more on striking, Chimaev might manage his energy better and avoid tiring out.
It's calculated. You know, he'll throw out punches out of position, but when he chooses to do that was when in a position where his opponent couldn't fire. You get little things like that. Or he'll chain, he'll kick and then his weird punch will come afterward. People are like, oh, what kind of punch was that? It was to split the timing, change the target. While you're expecting him to go there, base, then fire, he's already put a little awkward 2 and then you're on the back foot. Now he can chase you down, get a takedown or get an extra punch on you. Little things like that. It's calculated. Is a lot of that stuff going to be effective with Chimaev? Maybe not. I think the leg kicks, later rounds, that's all that stuff's going to be effective because he's going to be able to let his hands go a little bit more later. I think you're going to see a lot of kicks. Safe kicks that, won't be too easy to get caught. You might see a bit of, will you see pressure? Maybe, but you'll see a lot of maybe Dricus turning him, maybe a little bit of pressure, forcing the fight, showing Chimaev he's not scared of him and making him fight, making him knowing that he's going to get big reactions, making them big reactions happen so he can get that gas tank. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to see. Now let's get back here. Sports bet. Dricus $2.65. Chimaev $1.46. All right, so I am going with Dricus. You guys are going to see the first round, maybe even the second. And if you did go with my picks, remember, gamble responsibly. You're going to be like, what's he doing? I went with Volk. There's a good chance Chimaev makes it look easy early. Remember that wild storm that Dricus needs to weather. That's no joke.
Gilbert Burns was also confident in du Plessis' chances. Burns, who fought Chimaev in one of his most grueling battles at UFC 273, acknowledged that du Plessis was a tough competitor capable of taking punishment and pushing forward. Burns was particularly hopeful that if the fight extended into the 3rd or 4th round, du Plessis' superior cardio and toughness would start to take its toll on Chimaev. Burns pointed out that while Chimaev's early aggression and wrestling could be a game changer, du Plessis had the potential to wear him down over time.
Official prediction: Khamzat Chimaev is -200 on Legends to beat Dricus du Plessis. Moicano, who's your official pick here?
I will say Dricus du Plessis.
No, Gilbert's rooting for ADP, but do you think he's gonna pull it off?
When I look at the fight, that guy gets so freaking tired. He's that one speed fighter. He's gonna come like a freaking truck at you. I do believe he might take Dricus down. I don't think he's gonna get finished. I do believe Dricus is gonna fight through all that. Maybe a decision, but I do believe a late finish, 3rd to 4th round. That's my prediction.
Sean Strickland gave his own insight into how du Plessis might handle Chimaev. Strickland, who's accustomed to facing wrestlers, believed that du Plessis could capitalize on his superior stand-up game to take the upper hand. Strickland's assessment suggested that if du Plessis could survive the early onslaught from Chimaev, he would be in a strong position to overwhelm the challenger with his aggression and volume. Strickland noted that du Plessis' ability to recover and keep coming forward was one of his greatest strengths, and if the fight stretched into later rounds, he believed that du Plessis would start to take control.
Go on then, you got to give me your thoughts on Dricus Khamzat, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. So I sparred. I fought Dricus. I fought Dricus. I fought. Dricus has better stand-up than Chimaev, but Chimaev has a pretty crazy grappling. Now, I've been training with these fucking daggy terrorists my entire fucking life. So it's like I train with these fuckers. I know how to get up from these guys. I can withstand the storm. I don't know if he's encountered that level of wrestling to where it might get him a little off guard. But if he could handle it, get up and work his way up. I mean, it's kind of hard because it's a long time ago, but Brad took him down and held him down. Fuck, I should put him down. But Brad took him down and held him down. So it's like he just really has to be ready for an extreme amount of pressure on the ground. And if he can withstand that, he's undefeated.
Balal Muhammad also weighed in with his thoughts on Chimaev's cardio and pacing. Muhammad, known for his technical approach, argued that Chimaev's conditioning was often underestimated by fans and pundits alike. While many believed that Chimaev was primarily a grappler, Muhammad saw the fight as a potential showcase for Chimaev's evolving striking and his ability to manage energy over 5 rounds. He pointed out that Khabib Nurmagomedov's analysis of Chimaev's game, particularly the idea of keeping the fight standing, could be key to Chimaev's success, although Du Plessis was a dangerous opponent with excellent cardio and toughness.
Dricus Du Plessis. But when you're looking at the guys he fought stylistically, right, he hasn't fought a guy who trying to take him down yet. It's all been strikers. His last 2, it's Adesanya and Strickland. Like when he fought Brunson was killing him the first couple rounds. And he just gassed. Now, we've seen him get taken down by Brunson. We've seen him get taken down by Whittaker. He's got taken out by guys so easily. That's why I think Chimaev's going to...
I know that's your boy, but Khamzat has got some of the worst cardio in the entire company.
You know, cardio if you finish the guy at 2 minutes.
But Dricus isn't going to get finished. He's got an iron chin and an iron will.
Meanwhile, UFC Hall of Famer Tito Ortiz predicted a one-sided victory for Chimaev. Ortiz, who has built a reputation for his sharp fight analysis, was adamant that Chimaev's grappling and wrestling would be far too dominant for Du Plessis to overcome. Ortiz stressed that Du Plessis would quickly realize just how much of a gap there was between their wrestling abilities, and if Chimaev could impose his will on the ground early, the fight would likely be over before it reached the later rounds.
How do you predict that fight plays out?
People gonna see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's gonna realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. And it was heartbreaking for me in that middleweight division because when Bo Nichols got picked apart his last fight, I was like, man, why didn't you wrestle? You're one of the best guys in the world in wrestling. Use your wrestling. And that's what all the Russians do. They use their wrestling to set up punches. They use their punches to set up the wrestling. And then they take people down and they choke them because they're really good at it. I think Chimaev, I would give it maybe 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much. I think that's my opinion. Once again, I watch him. I watch Chimaev. I just see how tough he is, and I know he had training camp actually at Jackson Clothing Company or Jackson in
California.
California, correct? And was it
with Bear and Rampage is also there.
Yep. And so I know he's doing really well. I talked to Rampage. Rampage goes, no, he's the real deal, Tito. I go, I see him. I watch his fights and how vicious. I mean, he can shoot a double leg from half the cage and still take a guy down. He's just very vicious.
However, it was Robert Whittaker who offered one of the most unique perspectives, having faced both Chimaev and Du Plessis in the past. Whittaker, known for his analytical approach to fights, shared his belief that Chimaev's best chance of winning lay in securing an early finish. He observed that Chimaev was at his most dangerous in the first round, where his explosiveness and wrestling could overwhelm an opponent, yet Whittaker also acknowledged that if Chimaev didn't finish Du Plessis early, the fight would start to tilt in Du Plessis' favor.
DDP and Khamzat, who do you think wins that fight?
Honestly, Chimaev is going to get him to the ground. If he doesn't finish him there, I don't think he wins. I think if you can't get Dricus out in the first, which Chimaev could do, his first round finish is his thing. But if he doesn't get him out of there, I think Dricus is a guy that if you don't get rid of, kind of wins.
Israel Adesanya was another figure to weigh in on the bout. Adesanya, who had shared the octagon with Du Plessis not long ago, confidently predicted that Du Plessis would come out on top. Adesanya saw Du Plessis as the favorite, despite Chimaev's undefeated record. The reasoning behind Adesanya's prediction was Du Plessis' ability to get stronger as the rounds wore on. While acknowledging Chimaev's potential to win early, Adesanya believed that if Du Plessis could survive the initial onslaught, his chaotic and unpredictable style would eventually overwhelm Chimaev.
I think just late finish, yeah. Late finish. Khamzat would, I think Khamzat will, if he wins, it's the first 2 rounds. Or the first round. But Dricus is just chaotic. Chaotic good, chaotic evil. That's literally what this fight might be. Chaotic good versus chaotic evil.
However, there was still caution around Chimaev's ability to surprise. Michael Venom Paige, a fighter who has made a name for himself with his own unorthodox striking, cautioned against underestimating Chimaev's growth as a fighter. Paige noted that in Chimaev's recent fight against Robert Whittaker, the undefeated fighter had shown a more composed approach, relying on patience rather than rushing into chaotic exchanges. Chimaev's more measured approach in that fight suggested that he had evolved and wasn't just the wild, high-paced fighter he had been in earlier bouts. Paige warned that fans should be wary of writing off Chimaev's ability to pace himself over the course of a longer fight, as his composure and strategy could make him a much more dangerous opponent than many expected.
Well, interestingly, when he fought Whittaker, because again, he has been a bit, I call him like a Crash Bandicoot, like he goes in there and he's going crazy immediately. But it was the first time, although it didn't last too long, it was the first time I saw him a little bit more composed and not just try to go crazy immediately. He took his time, even to find the takedown. He was kind of a bit more like chilled and slowly worked his way to the takedown, where normally he just comes out and just dives at you. And again, obviously, it's hard for anybody to keep such a high pace. If he is that same person, I reckon he can go the distance. And everyone's saying that if he doesn't take him out in the first, I reckon he can genuinely, fights like that, he can go the whole 5 rounds and it still be an somewhat even fight, even when he starts to get a little bit more tired.
One of the early voices to weigh in on the matchup was Quentin Rampage Jackson. Jackson had nothing but praise for the undefeated fighter, calling him a beast in the gym. He emphasized Chimaev's unparalleled work ethic and energy, which stood out even among some of the best fighters he had ever seen. Jackson, who is no stranger to hard training and mental toughness, likened Chimaev's approach to that of Michael Bisping, a fighter known for his relentless attitude and determination.
One person who's training inside the gym is Khamzat Chimaev. Compared to all the bodies you've seen come through the gym, where does he stack up?
Man, he's one of the best. You know, we had Khalil Browntree coming there. He's a beast as well. You got what's his name? In Lukin. What's his name? Arman and Lukin.
Arman Sarukian.
God damn it, I mess up everybody's name. Arman Sarukian.
Sarukian.
Yeah, he's a beast too. Yeah, but Khamzat, man, he a beast, man. I saw him for a couple of seconds over there, man. He was murking people.
So how did you react to this fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more MMA content like this.